Ranking the NFL fan bases. This has very little to do with the fans themselves, to be honest, but it follows a pretty simple formula. First thing we can get out of the way is that if you're a West Coast team with a dome, you're soft. Like, you're sweet. You don't need football. So that would be the Rams, literally have Mediterranean weather and a $7 billion air conditioned stadium. Like, that's not that's not what football is about. The Cardinals, again, like Phoenix, Arizona, you're more into bull riding than football. Oakland Raiders would be 1.1, hands down. But Vegas, Death Star, not a fan base that I can respect, at least for the time being. And I'll actually throw the Texans in there as well. Just too new, um, too little enthusiasm from what I've seen. The dome, like, yeah, this is the the baseline. So the next group I would identify is like a picnic. You know, like you're outside, you're in the elements. Respect for that, but it doesn't seem like anyone really cares for one reason or another. Like Miami, not really a football city. Panthers, Titans, Jaguars. Like, respect to the fans that show out. Like, it's hot down there, but let's be real. Like, these are not robust fan bases. The next group, it's not really their fault, but if their ownership didn't build a dome, everything besides that, I respect. I'll put the Saints there. I'll put the Vikings there, the Lions, the Falcons, the Cowboys, who I really have no respect for, but they do show out, and the Colts. The next group, there's just like a little something missing for one reason or another. So the Broncos, like, passionate fan base, they draw from a big area, which I don't always love. It's cold, like they're out there, but it's just like Broncos fans don't need the Broncos. Like, you live in one of the most beautiful places in the country, in the world. Like, let's be real, Colorado, Denver, like, it's more about drinking beer and going hiking than football. They're missing that bite, you know. It's they're almost there, but these are officially we're in respectable territory. I'll put the Bucks there. They're outside, it's hot, but you live at the beach. Like, you don't. If the Bucks lose, you go home and you're still in Tampa, Florida. Like, you don't need it as bad as these other groups. The Redskins I would have put an S just because of the history and everything, but the rebrand has just soiled the mystique of really the NFC East in general. I'm kind of upset about it as an Eagles fan. Ownership's turning things around, but until you come up with a better brand than a W, it's just not quite what I feel like the NFL is about. Here's the thing, man. If you are like born and bred in New York and you ride or die for the Giants, I don't really respect you, but I'll tip the cap. Like, those people belong in S. Like, I know there are Giants fans who, like, when the Giants lose on Sunday, their week is ruined, and that's really the metric for me that defines like elite football fandom. Unfortunately, this isn't their fault, and this would go for the Yankees, this would go for the Knicks. There's too many casuals. Anyone throws on a Yankees hat, Giants jersey, Knicks jersey, and calls themselves a Yankees fan or a Knicks fan, it's like that has to take points away from like the cohesion of the culture. And you know, you might be saying, well, what about the Jets? Well, I would actually say that the Jets are kind of the opposite of that. Like, it's not cool to wear a Jets hat. It's not cool to be a Mets fan. It's like a statement. Like, you're really choosing to be a Jets fan and like everything that comes along with it. I want to put the Niners in that as well. Like, they clearly show out. They're outside, but again, it's San Francisco. Like, it's one of the most bougie metros in the world. Like, if it was Oakland, like, for sure. But you go back to Pacific Heights or whatever, like, after you lose, it's like, you don't need this. Like, you live in, you have like 70-degree sunny weather 9 months out of the year. Like, I also just really don't like you, to be honest. And that brings us to the elite crop. These fan bases represent everything that football is about. They're out in the elements. It's cold. Doesn't matter how the team is doing. these teams will show out. Shout out to the Seahawks too, because they're probably, I think they're the only, yeah, they're the only West Coast team here. I think there's just something, there must be just something about the weather up there. They share that Eastern, Midwestern misery enough where they like really go hard. So, yeah, I'll put the Jets up there again. Like, there's nothing sexy about being a Jets fan. Like this is, you live this, you need this. You know what I mean? Like these people, and I'm one of them. This is all we have. Okay, like it's different. Browns, I mean, you're a fan, you know, like the Chiefs, Arrowhead, the sound record. Patriots, hate to admit it, but you know, they're showing out in the snow, hail, sleet. Nothing needs to be said about Bills, Steelers, Packers, Bears, Bengals, Ravens, obviously. Unrivaled passion. So, argue with a wall.